Hey everybody, and welcome back to Joel Faust Reviews. It's me, and I'm glad to be back. I hope everyone's having a good day today. I'm here to talk about some key things that I took from this most recent episode of The Flash, episode 18, and it was, I think it was All-Star Team Up, is what it was called. Um, One of the things that probably, it starts off with just Barry doing his regular thing, helping Joe and Eddie out. I did take away from that first scene, though, that I think Eddie was a little taken back by Barry's showboating because he was kind of showing off a little bit, and towards the end, after they apprehended the criminals, Barry was kind of fist pumping Joe and acting like he was his stuff. And one thing about Eddie is that since the series started, even though he probably could be kind of conceited because he's this nice guy with this model look, he looks like he's a model, and he's got this great career as a cop and catching criminals and everything. He's got this great record. He could act like that, but he doesn't. He's kind of a humble guy, and he's soft-spoken, and he doesn't really act, like ignorant like that, really. So I think he was taken back when Barry was kind of behaving kind of weird, but it didn't turn into a big thing. But who knows what role that'll play in the future, if that's going to be, if that's going to mean anything. But other than that, things get rolling when there's basically these employees that end up getting killed by these mysterious bees that don't seem to leave any stingers around. They don't there's no dead bee bodies. That usually when bees sting you, they're going to leave their stinger behind, and it actually kills them. But these two employees of what turn out to be employees of Mercury Labs, Lindsay Kang and Mr. Carlisle, end up being killed by these bees. And Joe, Eddie, and Barry are all investigating, trying to help find out, who's at the source of this. At first, they think it's a metahuman, and then, as things are getting rolling with that, Ray, Palmer, and Felicity end up showing up because Ray needs help with his suit being stabilized because it overheats and it's not flying right and things like that. It's all jittery. So basically, Barry gets kind of upset, or he's kind of concerned, I think, that they're there because he knows behind the scenes that, he's dealing with these issues with the Reverse Flash being Wells now, and, he doesn't think anybody he knows is really safe. So I think he's kind of alarmed that they're there. But, as things are progressing through the show, Felicity makes a couple of attempts to get Barry to trust Cisco and Caitlin because she can tell they're good. Even though Barry did reveal it to Felicity that Wells, is the Reverse Flash, Felicity still ended up trying to help Barry to, not close his friends out, because, when things get bad, sometimes you need to rely on your friends, and, that he should do that with them. And I think she started getting through to him at some point halfway through the show, but not 100%. But anyway, as all that stuff's going on, Iris and Eddie are having a problem because Iris can tell that Eddie's kind of keeping stuff from her because he's not, he's doing all these, somehow they're catching all these criminals, and she thinks that maybe they're getting help with the Flash, or help from the Flash rather, and he's acting like the Flash doesn't have anything to do with it. He's not talking to her about things, so their relationship's been hurting for the past couple weeks. And Eddie even tries to talk to Joe about it, but Joe doesn't want him to let up, and he doesn't think that they should tell Iris anything to keep her safe. So he said, he basically told Eddie, unless that he marries her and he's becomes her husband, that his say basically doesn't matter. So, Eddie's kind of getting frustrated. Eddie and Iris, Ray, Felicity, and Barry all end up going out to dinner, and their dinner ends up getting ruined because Iris can't let everything go with Eddie, and she still doesn't understand why he won't talk to her. It ends up ruining dinner, and everybody ends up leaving. In between that, I think there was a couple of scenes where there was a scene where Ray Palmer actually said to Cisco that he's really clever, because Cisco suggested that they could use ceramic material to keep components of the suit from overheating, and Ray said that that he was really clever, and then that made Cisco remember from the episode Out of Time when Wells actually walked in on him after Cisco discovered he was really the Reverse Flash, Wells told him, you're really really clever, Cisco. I always said so. And he actually started to remember that and all that stuff. If you remember, that happened in another timeline, because Barry went back in time in that episode and basically undid everything. So somehow, I don't know if you ever watched episodes of like Star Trek or other sci-fi shows. Sometimes you can have like this temporal imprint that can get put on things, when you're talking about time travel and things like that. So I think somehow they're applying that with this, that somehow Cisco can remember something that happened to him in an alternate timeline. I don't know exactly how or why it's possible, but apparently that's what they're going with. And I think that that's going to play a role in helping Barry and Joe get, probably, moving along with proving that Wells is really the Reverse Flash. Because you got to remember, their main objective is to get Barry's father out of jail and capture the real criminal for all this stuff. So they're trying to be patient and do everything the right way and get all, as much incriminating evidence as possible. So I think Cisco's going to steer them in the right direction with his recalling those things happening, and the fact that Wells is the Reverse Flash and they actually killed him. Other than that, there's they do find out eventually, after talking to Tina McGee at Mercury Labs, they found out that these bees are actually robots. So that leads them to Mercury Labs, and Tina McGee actually explains that they are looking for an ex-employee named Brie Larvin, and she actually was somebody that developed these bees and was trying to get them used as a weapon and used for military purposes or whatever. And so Tina McGee and Mr. Carlisle and Lindsay Kang all played a role in getting Brie terminated. Ray Palmer and Cisco end up giving her the nickname the Bug-Eyed Bandit. But I'll still refer to her as Brie. So anyway, she basically ends up, trying to attack Tina McGee, and with these bees, and Ray Palmer and Cisco kind of team up to help save her, and they get the bees to drown in some water, or short out rather in some water. But in the process, Ray's suit gets damaged by the water as well, and he ends up getting put out of commission. But one of the bees gets stuck in his suit and ends up going after him when they're walking out of the van. Ray doesn't have a suit on anymore, and the bee comes out of his suit and gets ready to sting him, and Cisco jumps in front of him to take the hit, and he actually ends up going into cardiac arrest himself, and Barry rushes there to save him with his Speed Force electricity being used as a defibrillator. But that's actually kind of a key scene, because when that happened, it kind of, I think, pushed Barry to really think that Cisco was selfless and be a hero, and that he couldn't really be in league with Wells or the Reverse Flash. So I think that leads to towards the end where Barry and Joe end up showing they kind of tell Cisco and Caitlin that they're going to go to karaoke, but that was just a trick, because they didn't want Wells to find out what they were really doing. So they end up showing him, telling him what they really think, and then Cisco tells him that he's been having these flashes of memory of Wells being the Reverse Flash and actually killing him. And he doesn't know where they're from, but he said he mainly has them at night when he's trying to sleep, and sometimes other times during the day. And I think that's going to take things to the next step, because I've seen scenes in the commercial where I think they're going to find Dr. Wells' real body, and I think they're going to just piece everything together. And Cisco's probably, I think, going to tell them about the room where that force field containment unit was. I think he's going to tell them that he remembers that in that vision he was having, and because I think I saw a commercial where Barry and Cisco and Caitlin were all in that room, and you hear Barry yelling out to face him now. So I think that things are going to start rolling pretty soon, and just the Reverse Flash and Flash are going to be full-blown enemies again. I don't know how things are going to play out if the Reverse Flash is ever going to get back to his own time, or how that's going to happen. If Barry's going to change time again by trying to stop the real Dr. Wells from getting killed. I don't know. I mean, let me know what you think is going to happen in the next couple of episodes, and how you think things could go. And tell me if there's anything you think that they could have changed, or if they could have done a different way. I personally like it. I like how every episode with this show seems to have something in it that you have to pay attention to, because it's really important in either bringing something out from that happened in the past, or it may indicate something that's going to happen in the future, or dictate how something's going to happen in the future. So, I think overall this is a pretty good episode. And trying to think if there's anything else that I missed, but I don't. If there's something I forgot to point out, please just bring it up in the comments. Let me know what you think about everything. And also, let's try and. I think there's something else I want to talk about as far as in the episode. I think it was Tricksters, where the previous episode where they had the flashbacks with Barry and the Reverse Flash, and how the Reverse Flash took Dr. Wells' identity. There's a couple of questions that I had about that, and I'm going to post another video with some images and some things about that episode that I wanted to get into further that I didn't get a chance to before. So keep a lookout for that. I'm going to post that soon. And but besides that, I hope everyone's having a good day. If you like the video and you like the Flash, go ahead and like this video I put up. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe. I'm going to put more videos up. And have a great day. All right, bye.